Good morning, everyone. Thank you for attending. My name is Galina Mikhaleva, Associate Professor at Arizona State University. I'm honored to introduce the MetaVerse seminar series, Design, Technology, and Fashion in the Age of MetaVerse, hosted by Arizona State University, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, and Nanyang Technology University. The MetaVerse seminar series on design, technology, and fashion in the age of MetaVerse will explore how technology mediated bodily experience transforms human and the fabric of society by bridging the gap between physical, digital, and biological worlds. The seminar series focuses on the idea of MetaVerse, a vision for new technology who became our new skin that can augment human capability and expressivity in the metaverse and beyond. By bringing together scholars, designers, philosophers, and technologists, the seminar series will explore how emerging technology impacts the design process and the way we experience computing and the body. And today, I have the greatest pleasure to introduce our speaker, Kristin Neidlinger. She's a biomedia designer, founder of Sensory Designs, bioresponsive fashion to promote extimacy, externalized intimacy. With a background in dance, theater, and physical therapies, as a dance medicine specialist, she endeavors to craft phenomenal technology to enhance and expand physical embodiment. Sensory therapeutic media stemmed from her master thesis, a future speculation of healthcare to augment sensory processing disorder, a condition which ranges from ADHD to autism. She's currently conducting research as a PhD candidate in human-machine interfaces, e-medicine, and robotics in University 20, Netherlands. She is honored to have presented work at technology and healthcare conferences, in fashion shows, museums, and future visionary platforms, including Keynote Maker at Rebecca Film Festival, as well as TED Met. Floor is yours, Kristin. Thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you so much for the introduction, Galina, and thank you, Hedren, for organizing everything. I'm honored to be here today. All right, I'll share my screen. Okay, so I have a business called Sensory Therapeutic Biomedia, and my name is Kristin Neidlinger, and my contact information if you would like to contact later. Let's see. Okay, today I'll be talking about my concept called Extimacy. It's expressive wearable technology for interpersonal connection and mediated empathy. And how it applies to MetaVerse fashion for the MetaVerse. So the MetaVerse offers immersive reality, multidimensional interaction, and hyper connections. Oops. And as Tony Parisi says, the MetaVerse is the next significant development in global communications. But we heed some warning here because this promotes what is called the age of anxiety. This is Marshall McLuhan in 1964. He's a media theorist, and he said all media are extensions of some human faculty, psychic or physical. And he coined the term the age of anxiety is how our bodies were trying to assimilate all this information. And it was just hard to process everything. And then fast forward to now, 2020, anxiety is located in the body. Stress is natural, a bit of stress, but anxiety is a result of not being able to emotionally regulate your stress. And currently, it's the most common mental disorder worldwide. And the World Health Organization stated 1 in 13 globally suffer from anxiety and 1 in 5 in America. And in 2020, with this fantastic pandemic we had, the WHO announced a global need to augment interpersonal communication as a social connection is essential for emotional well-being. We need new media to connect us. Our current media, screen-based society is faltering and giving us more anxiety. So they recommended to limit the current media and create new tools. And that's what we're offering here. Working to augment senses, like Robert Hooke in 1665 was creating lenses for eyeglasses and microscopes. And he said, why not augment our other senses like smells, touch, or taste? And then fast forward to the 1960s with Paul Bacchi-Rita creating a new field of sensory substitution. And this is augmenting synesthesia, which is cross-sensing. 1 in 25,000 humans are predisposed to this talent, but with the neuroplasticity of our brain, these sensory substitutions can be learned. Here is an image of Paul Bacchi-Rita's chair he created for blind people. So it would translate a visual image into a vibration in the back of a chair so they could feel the image. Let's do this over here. Okay. A little organizing. So our thesis here is self-expression is essential for social cohesion. Biorhythms are a fundamental form of communication, like our heart rate, our brain waves. These subtle frequencies communicate to others how we're feeling. And we're focusing on interoception, the awareness of internal feelings. So knowing how you're feeling on the inside, like, oh, my stomach hurts, my heart is tight. What does that mean? What's the emotional component? And the more you tune into this, the greater your self-awareness is. And then also nonverbal physiological cues increase the social connection. So being more aware of your internal world increases greater empathy. And here we have an image of biorhythms that are currently translated into digital form. But what we're doing here is creating expressive biomedia in the form of the mood sweater here, which I will talk about. Oops. Here we go. Okay. And the concept is extimacy, externalized intimacy. It's showing how you feel on the inside to the external world. And how we do that is we take biosensors to monitor how you're feeling and then translate that biodata into visual, auditory, or tactile displays. That gives biofeedback for the wearer, but also acts as a teledisplay to show other people how you're feeling. Here's an array of the different biosensors that are currently possible. We have the ones that monitor the internal in green and external in red. Anything from skin conductivity, which is one of my favorites, that shows your excitement level, your arousal, to heart rate variability, shows your arousal between your heartbeats. And all this together creates Extimacy. It's expressive biofeedback fashion. It's a new form of awareness technology, and it's emotionally durable because your clothes have a conversation with you. They learn how you're feeling and express and actually comfort you. And this expressive biofeedback creates a dynamic empathy mediated between people. So you can check in like, oh, she looks really nervous. Maybe I can step up and see how she's doing. So this is me. I'm Kristin Neidlinger. I'm the main designer and I collaborate with a lot of people. And here's one of my first designs that was to augment the sympathetic nervous system. So this is in your body, the system that regulates your emotions and gets you into action. It can put you into fight, flight, or freeze, these components to bring you back to safety. And so I decided to create an emotional prosthetic that would do this. And so this monitors, it was a future speculation that monitors your adrenal glands. And then if you get overstimulated, it inflates to give you a helmet. The pressure actually calms your nervous system. And then it animates what your nervous system really does. It gives you tunnel vision, so you can focus on what is really in front of you. And it makes you appear larger. So maybe you scare your predator. And now I'd like to take you through some of the designs that were created in the MetaVerse and digitally, and how this creates more imaginative designs. So they're created digitally and then printed into the real world, and then we bring the digital back in. So I'll walk you through a couple of these. This is the neurotique. It's a brain animating and mind mapping fashion. And here we started with modeling this idea of what the brain synapses look like. And we created some 3D print globules here from our imagination and some scientific research. And then we were able to print them out on a 3D printer from Formlabs and combine these with an EEG headset. So this is the emotive epoch. And I think we had 13 sensor points. I'm trying to remember exactly, but we mapped the sensor points to these globules. And then we were working on, well, 3D print at the time was not quite able to be worn on the body. It's very rigid and resin. So how do we make this more pliable? And we ended up hand knitting monofilaments. These are like fiber optics to help create this juxtaposition of fluidity around the body, but also this rigid form factor. And then we embedded with the sensory technology. So this read the sensors, the EEG brain sensor, and then we translated the data into a palette of colors. And this goes from delta, deep sleep, which is red, meditative, which is kind of an orange, and then alpha is relaxed, focused, and that was green, and then blue was alert. And then multisensory, we had many colors. And these were based just on the hertz. The colors also have the same hertz. So we matched this, this data. And since it's nonverbal tech, it's best to show it rather than talk about it. So here is a video of the design. And we were able to create the monument piece, this imaginative design, and then we were lucky to be commissioned from a big pharma company to create an installation where we use them in small groups to teach meditation. And here's a video showing our process here. So each of these light points is from the sensor. And we created a small installation. This is our team. We weren't filming any of the participants. But we had myself, designer, we had a neuro engineer and a meditation instructor, and also a medical doctor who focuses on mindfulness was on the team. And we created these brain bonnets and led people to a class. And what was very interesting is what I learned is the brain is always active. There's never just one frequency. But we did have a dim, so if the excitement level slowed down, the lights would dim. And so that was interesting. We had one participant who went totally dim, and I was like, oh no, is the design broken? But she said afterwards that she is a meditation professional. Like she does it very often. So then we had our validation that it really worked. And I'd like to show another piece. It's called the electric. So this design, it's a duet. It communicates between people, and it's based on this idea. It's a phrase in the States that gave me goosebumps. Did you feel it too? Like this emotional sensation, and it's sometimes contagious. And so I wanted to create a design that could communicate this between people. And if they didn't feel it, maybe we could prompt this emotional response. So the research here is we asked, I think, 16 people where they felt goosebumps and from what, and then we had them color whatever they would like. And from this data, we produced the design that most people felt goosebumps coming up their back and down their arms when they were emotionally produced. And then we created some sensing to monitor this, like where in the body, like this peak of excitement. So we worked with heart rate and galvanic skin response and breath, and also inspired by sound, like these low frequencies that actually give you goosebumps. So we created this speaker fabric, audio tactile fabric that had a 40 hertz. We realized that that was the frequency that tickles your skin and actually makes your hairs rise up. So created that, and then from our imagination of what skin is like, we created this these follicles and 3D printed them into fabric to mimic the goosebumps and actually animate them. So here's our 3D print fabric that we came up with, and then silicone inflatables underneath to express. So it would monitor your excitement level, and then we'd have the expression on the design. And here's our diagram of monitoring one person and then transferring that signal to your partner. And we used all the colors from the research of the orange. People really felt it was orange and purple for the excitement goosebumps. And here we have our duo, and then I have a video with this one too. So we find the emotional connection through the prosthetic here. And I'd like to end with my most popular design that we're currently doing research with my PhD studies. It's the Germ mood sweater. So this is a design that has the galvanic skin response excitement sensor in the palms of the hands, and then translate that into a palette of colors in the bowl-shaped collar. Here we have the colors from calm, which is like a teal green, all the way up to a warm white, which is ecstatic bliss. Let's try. Okay. And here's a video of it in action. And this is fun. It was a piece I designed in 2010 with my master's thesis, and then it's been iterated on to create a research piece so we can actually test these assumptions. And here we see the Extimacy concept of bowl-shaped collar. It reflects back upon the wearer. The sensors are located in the hands. And then translate the data into the bowl-shaped collar. The biofeedback, but it also conveys to other people how she's feeling. With the goal to get embodied back into your natural self, in the natural world. Here's the 5 colors. With heightening the senses, she's able to be more coherent, more in real time and present. I'll show you some research we've been doing. I'm going to fast forward.
Hello, my name's
through me. Okay. And so we've been working with different focus groups, what it's really like to embody this extrasensory skill. And we have found that makes people more active and engaged. These were mirroring exercises where they're trying to match each other's movements.
Okay, so how did you feel when you were doing this exercise?
Well, I was feeling excited, but sometimes calm, and sometimes I wasn't sure what was going to happen, maybe a bit nervous or something. It was changing a lot, also because of the facial expression of boss.
Yeah, sometimes I felt maybe a little bit inconfident because I feel like I'm being monitored, but at the same time you are noticing what happens, but it is kind of right what you're feeling. So then you just like, right, but it's okay. It's okay to be free and to express your thoughts, maybe like this.
And how did you feel wearing the mood sweater? Did you think it facilitated something in your communication between each other?
What I liked about the communication is that you can see each other's expression already, and that you can, well, that way interact and try to be in touch with each other.
It's also sometimes that you're not sure what you're feeling, but you're also seeing that the other person is feeling different things, and that sometimes your facial expression does not immediately match your emotion, and that's what makes it really interesting. So you feel like there's more to your emotion than just your face, and that's really, the mood sweater is really nice to show that.
And then just to highlight what was happening at the end, we've started to create a virtual model so we can take this digital interface back into the virtual world with all this knowledge and research. Hopefully we can create a more cohesive experience back online. So creating a full circle. So in retrospect, we have the MetaWear fashion for the MetaVerse, and Extimacy offers authentic avatars, extrasensory experience, and embodied connection as a tool to connect. And as I like to say, the future is intimate and we want to be closer to ourselves. Thank you very much. And I look forward to some questions if anybody has them. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kristin. What an insightful and inspiring talk. I even had goosebumps watching your work, and I really enjoy how you are intertwining between the digital and physical and traditional crafts like knitting, embroidery, and then 3D printing. So that's fascinating to me. I really enjoyed it. And I was just wondering, my first question, and then I will open to the participants to give you more questions. How your very rich background in dance, theater, dance medicine impacted your research?
Well, yes, I was a professional dancer, and there is this nonverbal language that I didn't realize it was so special until later when I became a physical therapist and teaching people these basic skills, this like how we work together nonverbally, and that the unseen connection between people is it's so rich. And especially after you worked with a group of dancers or performers for a while, you can just intuit exactly what they will do. And also you don't necessarily have to like them, but you know them, which is another, just knowing how somebody might respond is a really nice skill to have. And so a lot of that comes through in this work. And yeah, I came back to grad school. I was teaching as a physiotherapist, and I went back to grad school because I was like, I want to teach these tools, because I was teaching them over and over, and I was like, oh, these are skills people just don't quite have. And I'm honored that, you know, people are interested in trying them too. So it's been really fun.
Great, thank you so much. Let's see if we have questions from the audience. Hidren, Pat.
Hi, hello, Kristin. It's very inspiring talk. I do have a couple of questions, but maybe I will start with the first one. You know, my very first question is that, you know, I love that your work actually provides a very different way to communicate things that are so micro, things that are so intricate and intimate, right? You know, things like feelings, emotions, you know, things like goosebumps that we can't see with our eyes. And then, you know, through physical visualization, you're able to communicate all these things out. I think probably my question here is that, you know, how do we actually encourage people who tend to want to, you know, be a little bit more introvert, I would say, wanted to hide their emotions, wanted to hide their feelings, all these things, right? So how do you actually encourage people to actually adopt your designs actually? Yeah.
Well, we have found in the research that people are self-conscious if they're the only one wearing it, but if it's in a group, they become instantly comfortable. So I really think these are social designs, which is what's currently missing. I feel like now technology is very private, and you know, your biodata is very private. But we have found in the social situation that people are more comfortable focusing on other people, and that actually that focusing on other people and mediating empathy creates a greater self-awareness for them. So
I think one of the reason why I ask this question is that, you know, especially in Singapore right now, we actually see the countries starting to open up, I would say, right, from the pandemic. I think during the pandemic, all of us are being, you know, so there's some kind of isolation, you know, we're all stuck at home, right? As you said, you know, the social design, you know, is we can't really be implemented in such a setting, right? During a lockdown and stuff like that. But as countries starts to, you know, open up slowly, you know, so what can be done actually to encourage people to socialize again? Yeah, to start to share more, you know. Yeah.
yeah, I really do believe sharing your biodata, even like online, is also quite helpful, just to make people more vulnerable and authentic and break down those unsocial barriers. Like, I wish it was already in existence, but yeah, we have tried an online study with it in a Zoom room, and it helped to make people more connected. But yeah, in my mind, we would all have our mood sweater at home, and it would be connected in the Zoom room, and even in, you know, your virtual world of choice. And so people could instantly like sense you. Like, there's so much data that we're missing from the online world, those subtle frequencies that actually really make you feel comfortable. Yeah, that, yeah, we don't really notice, but we do on a minute level of like the breathing rate and heart rates of people. And so, yeah.
I think I would say that it actually complements very well with our talk, the previous talk on MetaVerse, where Robbie, who is one of our speakers, actually used the virtual space to teach, right, during the pandemic. And I think everything you shared today, you know, it has the potential to add in like the additional tangible experience, I would say, and another level of experience to complement the virtual experience. Yeah. So thank you. Yeah. Galina?
I was wondering, I mean, thank you so much, Kristin. I'm such an analog person. So I wonder if we need to have wearable skins for the users to experience fully the metaverse. Do you think we need to do that in the next 10 years for the metaverse? Like very thin layers of interactive skins, so we can really experience or have haptic feedback of I mean, with Hydran, a lot of times we wonder, how do you experience, let's say, sewing or draping, or how people can really experience fashion in the metaverse? So my question is, in your opinion, do we need to have wearable skins that can help us to experience better the metaverse?
Yes, I appreciate that question, because I do think we need this haptic feedback if you are draping. And for me, a lot of design is touching, like very tactile. So, if we can augment that, because the whole idea, right, is that we're here and then we can make something in the virtual space. But if it's just like there's no feedback, it won't be as grounded, right? It won't be as embodied in ourselves, it won't be as grounded online. So I do think we'll have more, like sometimes now we have a toggle, but we will have more haptic feedback. And yeah, I imagine a fully multi-sensory environment with like smells and yeah, a lot of haptics. And I do imagine a full suit, because I guess now people, can wear your tracksuit out here and then your tracksuit online, but yeah, I really think we need to augment the full multi-sensory experience to be fully embodied.
Great, thank you so much. Any other questions? I can see here Barry Moon, we collaborated with him. He collaborates with great choreographers, dancers, and he is also a musician and a programmer. And I wonder if he has any questions, Barry.
Hey, Galina, thank you. I'm not well, I can turn on my video, but my camera is really weird.
No, we can see you. Thank you for participating.
Blurry me. Yeah, my question that I was thinking about, where, Kristin, you can imagine the sort of the sound sensors that you're talking about, whether you, I mean, I'm interested in this idea of sound as being something that is felt, because it's I think because our ears override our sense of sound as a physical thing, as in a bodily physical thing. Whereas if you talk to deaf people, they do feel sound, because they don't have that. I mean, they're open to that vibratory sense of sound. Whether you think of those senses that are on the body, which are producing, I mean, do you think of that as sound, or do you think of that as vibration, or is there a difference between vibration and sound? There's all sorts of questions around that.
It's true. Like the audio tactile fabric.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, I guess I do. I think of it as vibration. Yeah, it's a really felt sense. I feel like it is a synesthesia. It's like felt and heard. But yeah, I feel it more in my body personally. Like the different frequencies are like, oh, that's high pitched. Like actually changes your posture. But yeah, I'm very curious about what you're working on.
Oh, I'm only thinking about things. The less you actually do, the better, because everything works in your mind. But yeah, I'm just interested in whether, I mean, do those, does that fabric actually produce an audible sound as well as the physical sense, the vibration?
Yeah, it's very low frequency, 40 hertz, so it's above audible, but it's just like, and we played a song on it, but it was like, you could barely hear it.
Okay, and so it's probably the vibration against the body that you're actually hearing.
Yeah, it's just it's like a hum, like zzz,
Oh yeah.
and yeah,
And
it
how
tickles the skin.
I'll have to, do you have anywhere online any kind of technical description of those sensors?
Yeah, I have a published paper. It's called Electric. That gave me goosebumps. Did you feel it too?
Okay, yeah,
You can
I
all,
saw the video. Well, thank you. I'm just trying to steal ideas. I don't really have anything to add to this discussion.
yeah, for that one, I was inspired by elephants who actually listen through their feet.
Uh-huh.
And to these, sub-audible frequencies. So I was like, what if we're listening for the goosebumps in our body? And then we did some research and found that 40 hertz was the frequency that actually creates this piloerection, the hair standing on end.
And what and other frequencies were there other responses, physical responses to other frequencies?
Yeah, there's some that make you sick, like nauseous.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
I think that's brown noise. I can't remember the exact hertz, but it's low. It's like under 10 hertz. And yeah, and like white noise is calming. But yeah, I'm really interested in, these things that we don't quite notice, like even different light frequencies that change our mood, and the humming of a refrigerator that could potentially make us a bit nuts.
Yeah. Well, thank you for your talk.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, thank you so much. I would like to see if we have more questions. If not, Kristin, my biggest wish is to work with you, to invite you here in the desert so we can have amazing collaboration. I can see now we have somebody wanting to participate. It's my colleague Irina. She missed the talk, but like I say, we are building archive, Irina, and then we can share with you the recorded talk. We have Kristin, our amazing speaker, and we are just wrapping up. But again, Kristin, if you have anything to say to us or to wish her in the end, the floor is yours again.
Well, thank you, everybody. This has been a real honor to come and give a talk, and I hope you're inspired to have some embodied experiences. And feel free to contact me if you have any questions or ideas or collaborations. And
definitely. Thank you so much. And last night, my fashion class from Wearable Technology and Fashion had their fashion technology experiences where all the designers and models were standing for 1 hour, and then the audience as a live models, and then the audience had the opportunity to experience, to engage conversations with the designers and models, and that was amazing. And I can see that Angela is here. She did amazing piece on wearable technology using natural phenomena as the moon and the sun And again, will be amazing for next semester to invite you as a speaker, to invite you physically to come and visit. Again, your work was shown to my students from previous years, and we really admire you. So thank you so much.
Thank you. It's been an honor to be here, and I look forward to the future.
Great. And speaking of the future, for all our participants, we are ready to announce next month's speakers in probably the beginning of the month. So we will have another amazing speakers through the month of May and June. So our MetaVerse series are continuing for 2 more months. And again, everything will be archived and distributed. So thank you so much for all of you for participating. And again, thank you, Kristin, for your time and amazing talk. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, Kristin. Thank you.
Thank you. Nice meeting you.
Thank you.